I look like a normal person again. Anyways, buona giornata, welcome to my channel. My name is Stefania. If you are new here, so let's go ahead. We are gonna jump into this video. I'm gonna be playing with the new Pat McGrath palette. I have not bought a palette, I think since the Patrick Ta palette, so it's been a long time. And depending on who you talk to, it's been a long time for me, okay? But yeah, we are gonna do some individual eye swatches. That way you guys can really see the colors as well as a few different looks. So really just chit-chatting, hanging out, and playing around with something different. So I'm excited about this. It's the first holiday palette I've bought from Pat McGrath. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this Celestial Odyssey. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. So I always forget what the name of the palettes are called. Luckily, it's no more numbers because I suck at that. I'm always just like the one with the green shade. But this is her new holiday palette, is the Celestial Odyssey Artistry palette. I don't usually get these. I always get the... I'm so addicted to like her special shades, and I feel like that's what really makes her her. So I usually pass up on them. Like last year's, it looked pretty, but I was like, do I need it? Whereas like this year's, I just felt like it looked more like high-end, just more Pat McGrath. We'll see if I love the shades, and I don't feel like it's priced horribly. Like with the 10% off, I think it was like $65. So even if it doesn't have the special shades, I feel like almost every palette now is between 50 to 80 bucks, and it can be like the most basic palette ever. So I think packaging wise and what you get for this, and I do like these, I'm just scared they're gonna break. So I feel like you have to be pretty gentle because they are like fragile little like ribbons pretty much. But the actual palette itself, like I think for the price point, it's a beautiful packaging, and the mirror it's very nice. You can see all your zits. So yeah, I have not bought a Pat McGrath palette in quite some time. Like I said, I wanted her last bigger one. My hair is a mess, but we're just doing individual swatches right now. Y'all, I'm about to pop, okay? I'm about to have this baby in like, hopefully 12 days. So let's go ahead and do some individual swatches. I'm not gonna go down like crazy far. I just wanna see what they look like on the eye. Obviously I have fake lashes on. We'll do a look at the end. So let's go ahead and get into individual swatches. And I'm kind of just going in for ones I'm interested in right now. So, oh, I don't even know. Let's do this one and this one. They obviously don't have names on the fronts of them, so I'm kind of just pointing. I mean, yeah, that does feel nice. And look at that. I'm already like, I'm excited. Like I said, this is not going to be a start of like buying a whole bunch of new releases again. That's gorgeous. It's like such a nice champagne color. I'm going to lower the lights down for this whole segment as well so you guys can like really see the colors. But it's a nice like white gold. I know I complain about golds. White golds though are different. They're different stories. It's a little chunky. Like I can see it in the pan. That doesn't bother me, as long as I don't get stuff like everywhere, you know? So let's go in with this, like, it's got a little bit more of a pink, like rose gold, a darker rose gold, but yeah, you guys can just kind of see, like, these are pretty. I'm already, like I said, I didn't go into this with the highest of highs because I just get like super like poo-poo-y about the special shades, but these are really, really pretty metallic shades. And like I said, I know that they're messy, but at least you can still see what they look like on an actual eyelid. I hate the whole face swatch thing. I'm just like, that's not the same type of skin, you know? I need crepey, thin skin to see what it looks like on my hooded eyelids. With these two next, you guys know I love peachy shades, so I'm hoping that that's going to be like really nice and peachy. The problem is it doesn't always show up on my skin tone. But I do love the shade peach. I thought my nails were peach, then I remembered I thought this would be like a better, I don't know. I'm freaking out about the whole hospital and everything, and I'm just like, I think this nail color looks better. Who gives a shit? Nobody. So, ooh, so this is like a nice like burgundy type shade. On the lighter side burgundy, but still really pretty, like, It's that classic like cranberry Thanksgiving type look, which I haven't done in forever because I've kind of gotten over it. The good thing is I feel like these will match really well. Like they're already really pretty and opaque on their own so far. They'll match really well with putting her topper shades on top. Obviously you're going to put them on top, but you know what I mean. They'll pair well with her others. And I do like the few mattes that she put in here. They do seem like they actually go with the palette, like a nice warm transition shade. So I'm happy about that. I do feel like that's part of the problem that I don't love to collect her big palettes is I feel like I don't reach for her mattes in there because they always seem like they're the same. So I'm happy to see a little bit of variation, not much. There's still always like a mauve matte, a brown matte, and usually like a lighter pink. So really not that much different. I'm not meaning to pick on Pat. I'm just saying at this price point in my collection, I do pay attention to those things more and more. So what are you guys' thoughts though? But so far I'm really loving this. And I didn't buy, obviously like this palette is not mostly matte, so I'm not really judging it off of that. That's fine for me. But I know I'd still probably end up reaching for a different palette. So it is a light peach. I do like it, but I do wish it was a little bit more intense on my eyes because like I said, I think it's just a little bit too light. It's definitely not gonna like make my eyes pop because it is lighter. So all right, moving on. All right, next up, let's go for these two together, like this really pretty darkish teal green. I love these colors. I love them at clothes. I love it in makeup. I don't wear them that often though. I don't know why that is. And then we'll go for like the actual orange. But they're like one of those that I'm always like, it's so pretty to look at. And then I just don't, I don't know why I don't reach for them. I think like jewel tone, like, yeah, I like the idea of jewel tones. And then when I put them on, I just don't love them on me. I'm happy that now that I have my hands, I'm like, okay, there's really only one true gold. And not like 10 different golds. I still wish, that's a gorgeous color. I'm getting this in my eyebrow. I love this orange. Like so far, I think this is definitely like a winner shade. I mean, these are both gorgeous, but like I said, to each their own. It's really pretty, but I know me and I'm like, I'm not gonna reach for it that often. This one, very often. I love shades like this. Very like, almost like a rusty orange. All right, last few. And I'll do some comparisons for shades, but you know, it's a lot to try to swatch all of these. But I do want to do at least like, let's do the green right here and this color, and then I'll swatch the rest as well. I have a feeling this is gonna be my other favorite shade. I love rose golds as well. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and run to the gym. If I don't go to the gym, I just end up in a really awful mood now. So I just need to go get that out of the way. But I'm actually really happy with this palette. I'm excited now to like create a whole look with it. I don't know why my expectations were not like far up there, but yes, like would I have paid like 150 for this? No. But for the price point, I do feel like this is good quality. This shade feels a little bit drier, but it's still really pretty. It has almost like that duochrome, like pink to gold effect. So I think like, you know, again, it's not gonna be like that big pop just because of my skin tone, but at the same time, I think with a transition shade and all that, if I got it wet, it'll be good. Yeah, that's really pretty. The payoff in a lot of these, like, oh, if you had like a green ivy type costume for, is it green ivy? I'm not a fan of Batman. But like for Halloween, like that's a really pretty color. Not that it's a Halloween color by any means, I'm just saying. Like these, I wish that you guys could see how much, like hopefully you're getting it across. Like I can turn this all the way down, but they are really pretty like in person. All right, so here are the shades I did not swatch on my eyes, only because I feel like especially these two, these are such common shades that you see all the time. But I do like she like threw in that brown, and you got some duochromes. These aren't my favorite, just because I don't think they're going to show up. Like, they'll show up, but not, you know, they're not going to give you like that, like, oh my gosh, it's so special type thing. Like, that shade of duochrome, I feel like never comes off in the right way. I'm really not like I'm not a huge fan of duochromes, if I'm going to be completely honest. They don't ever reflect the way that they like look in a pan. That could just be my opinion. But very nice little like pastel, like purple silver. All right, so I think I'm going to do like split this up and do like 2 different looks, because I feel like this palette is massive and it deserves its own moment. So, and I know like I just want to do a lot with it. So I was just kind of like, okay, let's do a pinkier look today. And then tomorrow, no, we'll do the more neutral today because I have to go to work. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take the medium like brown shade right here, and I'm just going to work that into the crease. And then I'll take this off and we'll do a new week. I was like, should I do it tomorrow or today? But I gotta get some stuff done, you know? So that's a really nice like medium toned brown. Thing is about her mattes, they're generally very like pigmented off the bat. So I feel like a lot of the times, which it just depends on your skin tone, I tend to want to reach for like one more lighter shade out of a different palette and then move on to like this color, you know what I mean? I would have usually laid down like more of like a lighter peach or like a camel tone. All right, on a smaller brush, I've been loving these little like Lunar Beauty, like the brush set. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the deepest brown in here. And like I said, we'll play with the other tones as well. So we'll do this like more everyday look. What have you guys been up to? We watched Midnight Mass over the weekend. Just blew through that show. Obviously, it's not a lot I can do, so that's what I depend on. I'm like, what's coming out? And I really liked it. I love Haunting on Hill House, just the first one. I didn't love Bly Manor, but just saying, I did like Midnight Mass. I'm losing lashes, and this is why I like get so nervous to do my makeup, because I'm like, no, I need to look somewhat, you know, I mostly just got lashes done for like pregnancy wise. I was like, I just want to look somewhat put together without having to put in any effort. Not that I'm like that when I'm not pregnant, but you know what I mean. Because I do feel like I used to use more eyeshadow, and then now I'm just like, yeah, we look good without it. We don't need it. All right, and then for that eyelid, let's do 2 different ones. So let's break it into this taupey shade towards the like mid to end, and then let's do this brighter shade towards the front. So this is actually coming off like different than I thought. Like when I swatched it, I feel like it looks more taupey, you know, but like on my eyelid, I don't feel like it's coming out taupey. Not in a bad way. I like the color, but it's almost like that duochrome shift as well. I feel like I think it's taupey, and then really it's that duochrome shift, so it doesn't actually come off that way, but it is gorgeous. It reminds me a lot of like one of the old Makeup Geek colors, which, my gosh, talk about brands that I'm like, I have not bought anything from Makeup Geek in forever. I think I talked about that last video where it's like NARS I haven't bought for. There's just so many brands that I used to like gravitate towards that I'm like, I don't even remember. I don't even think about them anymore. What is your guys' brand now that like you're just like, I'm over it? I don't think about it. I have a whole list of things I want to try during the VIB sale, but I'm not into like trying to buy a whole bunch of new makeup. Like I really want some lipstick by Makeup by Mario. All right, so now we're gonna move into that other shade. This one is very soft. Like I kind of have to like pack it down a little bit because the fallout is a lot of fallout. But I always feel like chunkier ones. I don't mind chunky shadows because I feel like they look really good on the eyelid. Like they're definitely shades that pop more. And same exact color. I'm just gonna grab it for that inner corner. My good old trusty Costa Riche from MAC. You know what, let's go ahead and try out the mauve shade because I still think that would go fine with this. So we're gonna use this matte down here. Oh, it's at the top of the palette, but you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and use that because I think it will still tie in nicely. That way we can use as many shades as possible. I mean, her mattes are a gorgeous formula. I just wish she would put a little bit more variation into them. They seem to be very close no matter what palette it is, which I think some people might like because then you don't have to really like struggle to figure out what to do or that type of thing. But for me personally, like, you know, you're paying for a palette. I would rather have an array of different mattes because, like I said, I do like the formula. And I always want to get my money's worth. I will say, if she came out with like a 10-pan all special shade, I'd pay $200 for that in a heartbeat, okay? All right, then lastly, before I'm done with this look, let's grab just the tiniest bit of that like peach shade right here. And I'm just going to kind of just give my like my lower lash line a little bit more of a pop. I tend to like to kind of do a little bit of shimmer right there most of the time. Just a little something. All right, so this is look number 1 altogether. I really like the way that this came out. I like the shimmers, and I really like all the mattes worked perfectly. Like, I'm not complaining about anything. I'm happy with it. Is it the most unique look? No, but I kind of like that you have so many different options in here to where like this really is a good all-in-one palette. I don't want to say travel anymore because really who's doing that? But to me, I feel like traveling palettes to me mean they're going to be in my bathroom for use type thing. So like an easy like grab it and you'll have a look type palette. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off and then we will do a brighter look. So let's go ahead and get into the second look. So I'm going to play with the pink shade. So I'm going to go here and then I'll probably end up deepening up with like the mauve and then still go with the, you know, the darkest matte is that deep brown shade. So let's see how these are. I do like this shade. It does remind me a little bit, like I don't have the last big palette that she came out with, but I know she kind of had a shade like this, which kind of matches like that lavender in that shade. But if you guys have that palette, or definitely let me know what you guys think. Like, is it worth getting or do I have enough, you know? I mean, I know I have enough. That's not really the question. It's just more so like, is it unique enough to add to it? But I do think regardless, like with this one, or even that last one, if you, so far quality wise, everything's been great. But I will say next month, like less than a month away, we have the Sephora VAB sale. So I'm kind of just like, if you haven't gotten it by now, I would probably save it. I mean, it's not the most, like I said, it's a reasonably priced palette, especially for her. But I do think, like, you know, if you could save, you know, $10, $15 on it, why not? So, and they usually do stay in stock for a while. It's not usually like her holiday palettes sell out right away. And then she also has great deals on like actual like Black Friday and stuff. Her site's generally 30% off. So I always wait to get Pat McGrath like stuff. Like, I love the foundation. It's definitely my favorite foundation. And I always get it like when she's doing a big sale because I know that that's coming. So that's kind of what I would recommend. Like, quality wise, I'm very happy. I have nothing to complain about. There is fallout though. Like, I did wear that first look for quite a while and my face was fairly glittery. So just know that, but it did, like, I felt really good in it. Like, it's been a long time, like I said, since I've done a lot of eyeshadow. So I'm dipping into like the deeper shade right now. And I felt really, really good. So I'm happy I got it. I'm just saying, if you haven't got it by now, maybe think about it for like the sale. What are you guys gonna pick up at the sale? I don't even know. So, has anyone tried the new Fenty palette? Like, I have so many questions. So, anyways, I want to use like these two shades. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start off with the deeper one. This is what I mean, I have been using my fingers now for quite some time. I feel like I used to be super into cut creases and then that it just changed. I don't have the patience to do a cut crease anymore, so this is what works, you know? I will say a lot of these shades though, I wish they were just a little bit more, it's just hard. Like, I will say, if you have not tried Pat McGrath, I would not start with this. Not because it's not great quality and the pricing isn't great, but I still think you should go for special shades. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna try it, you might as well like dive in, okay? And then you'll never be able to turn back. And like, I've tried Cleona and I like Cleona Cosmetics, but I really have not found dupes for her special shades, which those should be on. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be up at Sephora as well. I do want a little bit of, like, you can only pack on this like darker mauve so much. It's not really giving my eyes that much dimension, so I will probably, I'm gonna dip into that brown just a little bit. You know, that would be like my only critique in here is sometimes I just feel like the mattes are always so similar where it's like a plummy matte, a brown, and that's kind of, those are kind of her colors and that's it for every palette. So I wish she would start working on that a little bit more. And some bronzers, because for some reason I love bronzer. I don't know why. And then for my lower lash line, I'm just gonna take that plum shade. And then in our corner, we're gonna go ahead and grab this shade right here, kind of over the brow bone highlight. I don't usually do those anymore, so I'm gonna leave it just like that. So overall, I feel like I kind of went over my thoughts while I was doing the last look, but I do like it. I would say like the only thing I get nervous about is like if one of these like breaks, just because it is very flimsy. But the rest of the palette packaging, I feel like this just screams like high quality. I really, really like this one compared to past ones that she's done. In terms of, I wouldn't say it's the most unique, but it is very wearable. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, like, you could really do a lot with a lot of the colors. I just think you might want to reach for different mattes from different palettes, or else the looks kind of all end up kind of being the same because you don't really have that many options. So that would be like my only like real critique in terms of like something you may want to consider. But really, I mean, I think this is a great deal, especially if you know, pick it up on a sale. I don't think you'd be disappointed by any means. I'm just gonna keep pushing for those special shade palettes, that's all. So I'm like a broken record with that. So I digress. I will not say anything else. But overall, I really like the palette, and I would love to know if you guys got it, played around with it. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.